Am I the asshole for kicking my son and his wife out after they took my daughter's room? I'm a single mom of two, Dale 22, and Kim 15. My late husband passed away when Kim was 10. It was too much because it's hard being a single mom. Everyone in my life has never stood by me. Where I'm from, society tends to be harsh on single moms. I always felt much stress with all the responsibilities and everyone expecting me to give up. There were many times when I felt like a failure, and I never want to be seen as a failure in my children's eyes. I want them to look up to me, learn from my experiences, and learn to stand by themselves and be strong. Kim is the apple of my eye. She went through so much. I tend to be overprotective of her, as they say. I was with someone, a police officer, who was nice to me, but once I noticed how poorly he treated Kim. I told him to leave immediately. I decided to focus on Kim. Dale and his wife are expecting. He's been unemployed for months, and they left their rental apartment and moved in with us temporarily. However, his wife started disrespecting Kim's privacy. Walking into her room, constantly taking her things and ruining them. They brought boxes of baby stuff and stored them in Kim's room. I told her to move the boxes to the storage room, but Dale made excuses that the stuff might get damaged. Dale and his wife talked about staying for a few more months, she's 8 male pregnant, till after the baby is a few months old. His wife suggested that my daughter move into my room and they take her room and turn it into a nursery. I said no, it's not up for discussion. Dale understood, but his wife didn't like it. Kim came to me saying Dale's wife is trying to convince her to give her room to her nephew. I told Dale's wife firmly to stop annoying Kim. Yesterday I came home and found Dale moving Kim's stuff out of her room, replacing it with their baby's stuff. Kim was in the living room waiting for me. She was crying. I was livid. Dale's wife made her a sandwich to calm her down. I saw Kim's room. Her bed was moved. Her fav posters, her closet and graphic art, some were put there by her dad. I confronted them. Dale said it was his wife's idea and told him she'll work it out with me later. I got into an argument with her. I lashed out at her after she said Kim can take the storage room. I told them to leave immediately. They argued for an hour, then left. My mom and sister called me in the evening, asking how I could kick my own son out, and told me to let them move back in. I refused, and now they're calling me bad mom, saying I'm playing favorites. Dale's wife talked about putting the nursery together and taking pictures of it to share on an Facebook page for everyone to see. That's what Dale told me, which made me feel upset, to be honest.
Dale and his wife could easily have shared their room with a baby for a few months. You and your daughter were already making a great sacrifice sharing a home with a newborn. That wasn't good enough. They think that everybody should have to sacrifice for their child, but that is not how the world works. You have a responsibility to protect your daughter, make decisions in her best interest. That is what you did here. You are not the asshole. You are a wonderful mother who was forced to make a painful decision to protect her child. Well done. Not the asshole. If your mom and your sister feel you were wrong, then maybe they can open up their home to Dale and his wife. What about wife's family? Maybe they can open their home up to them? You were and are protecting your child, Kim.
Not the asshole. It's their kid, it's their responsibility to house it. They majorly crossed a line by kicking Kim out of her room. Dale's wife sounds extremely disrespectful. Not the asshole. Your Dil is a piece of work and has no respect for boundaries. She has kicked your daughter out of her own room, even after you've told her multiple times not to. You were kind enough to put a roof over her and your son's heads, even though you didn't have to, and they kept demanding more and more. If they want more space, they might as well find their own place. Kim lives there and is entitled to her own space, especially after all she's been through. If your Dil is this entitled now, when the kid isn't even born, I can only imagine what she's going to be like once she's given birth. She'll disrespect even more boundaries and probably expect you and your daughter to look after the baby.
Not the asshole. You were doing them a favor, giving them a place to stay, and they walked all over you and your daughter. I don't think you have anything to feel bad about. They did this to themselves. Since you said where you are is a place that is hard on the single moms, I'm wondering if it's a patriarchal culture and people are feeling that your son should be the head of the household now and should get his way. Could that be why he and his wife felt like they were entitled to take over?
From the moment you said Kim was the apple of your eye, and that you favored her, I was preparing to call you Ta. But not the asshole. They don't just get to kick her out and take her room. They asked, you said no. How disrespectful.
Not the asshole. You're a great mom. Dale's wife is incredibly entitled. They're both adults. If having a nursery is so important, they can work and find their own housing. If your other family members are so concerned, Dale and his wife can move in with them. Good job protecting Kim.
Not the asshole. Your daughter is a child and you as her mother are responsible for her. Your son and his wife are adults living in your home. If they can't respect your boundaries, then they can't live in your house. It sounds like they will never respect you or your daughter, and therefore they need to find somewhere else to live. It's not about favorites, it's about doing what is best for the child minor living with you.
Not the asshole. This is your house, not theirs. You and Kim live here. Dale and his wife are guests. If your mom and sister care so much, tell them they are free to take their entitled asses in themselves.
Not the asshole, but your son is, and so is everyone defending him in your family. I, honestly, really hate this phrase in normal circumstances, but tell him to grow a pair and to grow some fucking empathy for his own flesh and blood. You aren't your son's wife's mom, not in that sense, so choosing your daughter over your daughter-in-law isn't exactly bad parenting. Your son is 22, can't take no for an answer, and is already rolling over for every damn ridiculous demand of his wife, to the point of literally alienating his own sister and doing things behind his own mom's back.
Not the asshole. You tried to do them a favor, but they decided to trample all over you and Kim and take over your entire home. Tell those nosy ass relatives that, if they're so concerned, they can let Dale and his wife move in with them. Not the asshole. Wow. Those are two entitled asshole adults. They should be grateful that you had a room to give them. But nope, they chose to be ours and try to take over your house. Tell the people antagonizing you they may take them in.
Not the asshole. Dale is a grown man with a family of his own. Kim is still a minor and your primary responsibility. Dale's wife wants to come into your home and displace your child in favor of hers. And it's a baby, who doesn't need a nursery. Dale and his wife need to be in their own space where they call the shots.
Not the asshole. Always love how families tend to message saying to let the other family member stay with you but never open their doors for them.
Anyone else feel there's way more to this that she's not telling us?
Taking pictures to share it on a Facebook page. They knew damn well they were planning to keep the baby's stuff there and make Kim's room a nursery. How is your Dill so damn disrespectful? It's not even her house. Why does she believe she has the right to make that kind of decisions? And your son getting his own sister out of her room? If they don't even want to share a room with the baby, I don't know how they are gonna raise them. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. You're not playing favorites. They are disrespecting your home and your boundaries, so they need to go. You were helping them out. They were the ones who refused to listen to you and to upset your daughter. Good on you for standing up for your daughter and not letting her be bullied into giving up her space for them.
Not the asshole. You're a good mom and you did the right thing. It sounds like his wife was bullying your daughter, a minor, to get her own way, which is awful. I think if you let your son and wife move back in, it'll be a matter of time before his wife acts up again. It's bad your son didn't nip this in the bud sooner and defend his sister. If your relatives think what you did was so wrong, then let them take them in. I imagine it won't be long before they are fed up with their behavior.
Not the asshole. Your son and his wife are adults and they have no business bullying a minor out of her room. You did the right thing. If they were so worried about having a place to stay, maybe don't piss off the hand that feeds you for free.
Absolutely not the asshole. You took them in, and they repaid you by overstepping boundaries and being disrespectful to your daughter. Kicking them out is not playing favorites. You're protecting your daughter while giving your entitled son and daughter-in-law a much-needed reality check. Absolutely don't let them come back until they apologize profusely and help put Kim's room back to normal. Not the asshole. Wifey overstepped and tried to control what goes on in your home. She crossed major boundaries by taking and damaging Kim's things. This was way too far after she had been told no. You had every right to have them leave. If there is a problem, wifey caused it. Actions have consequences and now they have to find somewhere to live. This is on wifey and your son because he should have stopped her long ago.
NTA, they are adults and disrespected your house rules. I would ask family who's taking them in. When no one speaks up, tell them to stuff it.
Not the asshole. They tried to take over your house.
Not the asshole. Your daughter-in-law is crazy and way out of line. Your son made his bed and can lie in it.
Not the asshole. It's Kim's space. There's no reason the baby can't be in with the parents until they find a place of their own. It sounds like they've behaved really badly and it's completely justifiable that you've kicked them out. They can't move into someone else's home, yours, and then dictate the terms.
Not the asshole. Obviously Kim deserves respect and it is her house before it's your son's and Dill, regardless of age. They should have respected the boundaries. Call all those relatives telling you how awful it is for kicking him out and let them know that you've offered Dale and wife to move in with them.
Not the asshole for this situation anyway. His wife was beyond a big piece of work LMAO. But the way you talk about your daughter LMAO, have you ever liked your son? He was like what? 17 when his father passed? He was still a kid too. And then calling her the apple of your eye. It's just odd.
Not the asshole. Your son needs to quit being a bum, get a job and support his own fam. They were prob never gonna move out. This sub sucks now. The only high-traffic discussions are all obvious Justice Boner stories. This is about as one-sided as you can get.
Not the asshole. Dale needs to get a backbone cause it sounds like his wife is the one controlling the relationship.
Not the asshole. They disrespected you and your boundaries.
Not the asshole. They repeatedly disrespected your daughter and you. Not the asshole. But it sounds like when your husband passed your focus was solely on Kim. Your son maybe been 17 but he needed love and support too.
Not the asshole. My only counter thought is your entire post was focused on you and your daughter's struggle since the passing of your husband. But your son was 17/18 when his father died. How was he affected by his father's death? Losing a father at the cusp of adulthood can be extremely difficult. That doesn't make what he does or allows now acceptable, but I wonder why he feels connected to someone who clearly is both toxic and controlling. It sounds like the support system he's had to process all this isn't working.
Not the asshole at all. They disrespected you and bullied your 15-year-old daughter into giving her room to their baby. I'd have kicked them out too. Not the asshole. You sound like a wonderful mum. A few things. 1. Your Dill is an entitled B, and an Ah 2. Your son is an Ah 3. Your relatives are Ahs. If they feel so strongly, they should take Dale and his wife in. Crickets. Number 4. How awful that you've been treated so poorly after your husband died. How is it your fault you're a single mom? 5. I'm so very sorry for the loss of your husband. I can't even imagine. It sounds like you don't have many people around you who have shown you any compassion or empathy and I'm sorry. So for what it's worth, this stranger is sending you compassion, sympathy, and hugs if you want them.
Not the asshole. At all. You're absolutely right to stand up for Kim.
Not the asshole. It's your house, and they're being incredibly disrespectful.
NTA. I'm not going to say why you're not the asshole since everyone else has basically covered it. I do want to say it is very clear by how you spoke here that you do clearly favor your daughter. It appears your son was 17 when your husband passed, which is an extremely hard age to lose a parent. Especially a boy entering Mangoes and losing his father. Does any of that make what happened in this scenario okay? No. But it's also weird your son wouldn't have spoke to you about the whole thing first, which in my opinion says more about your relationship.
Not the asshole. They went around it the wrong way. It's very rude to start moving someone's furniture out. They're very entitled. Not the asshole. They asked. You said no multiple times. They are guests in your home. They are adults and your daughter is a child. Then you came home to them doing it anyways. A 15-year-old girl needs her own room. A baby doesn't. The Dill just wanted a nursery to put up on Instagram. Your son should have been out looking for a job to help with that instead of destroying memories of your daughter's father in her room.
Not the asshole. OMG, they are guests in your house and definitely crossed a line. They should be grateful they could move in with you for a while, helpful with the baby coming and all, and instead acted as entitled brats. If they can't see that, good riddance, there's the front door. Not the asshole. It isn't at all playing favorites to not allow your adult son and his wife to kick your minor daughter out of her room after you expressly told them not to do exactly that.
Not the asshole. Wow, talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Did his bee of a wife just forget who owns the house? Is she role-playing as one of the stepsisters in Cinderella? Protecting my daughter from bullying and theft is not playing favorites. Letting one child, or his wife, bully the other would be playing favorites. You 100% did the right thing. If they needed a place to stay that badly, they should have been nicer to the person they need help from. Not the asshole. Your son needs to put his big boy pants on and stand up to his wife. She can't just dictate what she wants in other people's homes. You did the right thing. Sounds like the wife had a longer stay on her mind. That's why the nursery. You are not a bad mom. But you should tell your son that you still love him, but you can't accept his wife's actions and you hope he addresses them. Everybody else can take them in if you are such a bad mom in their opinion. Screw them. Not the asshole. Beggars cannot be choosers. They dug their own hole so they can learn to adapt or dig themselves out. What did they think was going to happen? That you would be a quiet little doormat as they walk all over you and your daughter? Glad to hear you made this decision in the end. For anyone that tries to guilt you or psychologically manipulate you into feeling regret, just let them know these tactics don't work on you, they should just save it. Fun fact: the human brain reaches full development around the age of 26. Do with that what you will.
Not the asshole. What the fuck are entitled people?
I'll start by saying I think you're not the asshole. But, as sort of a meta-comment, I noticed that 99.9% of posts here result in this answer, and I'm wondering if it's a matter of only one perspective ever being shared and the tendency for one to empathize with an individual they're interacting with as opposed to some name on a screen. It's an interesting phenomenon and it may affect the usefulness of this sub. Not a sermon, just a thought.
So not the asshole. You've let them stay during everything going on, which is commendable, and they slowly try to undermine your daughter. Nuts to that they were told to chuck it. Dale knew better, and even his wife knew better, or they wouldn't have started while you were out. They were probably hoping to be finished before you got back, so it would be too much of a hassle to put it back in their heads. If they were truly going to leave when the baby was a few months old, then it would be a waste of time and money to set up an entire room as a nursery. They were planning to stay long-term rent-free. Good riddance. So you're the bad mom, and not Dale's wife, who can't provide a home for her child and has to bully a 15-year-old. Absolutely not. You are not the asshole, Op. I am so sorry your son is showing such ingratitude and entitlement towards you. I'm sure you want him and your future grandchild with you, but you put aside your own wants for the good of your daughter. That makes you an amazing mom, and Dale's wife should take lessons from you.